And probably around the first 2 years, shortly after, depending on weather, of course. The KDOT piece, which includes also changing the road, because Highway 18 west of the 77 before Spring Valley is actually getting raised about 4 or 5 foot. And that's probably going to be done, I'm hoping, by next June. For those of us, including myself, that live over on the west side of town, not having the bridge on 18th or 8th Street has been a hassle for a while.
We'll go to June. Are they going to get the main bridge done over 77? That's taking forever.
It looks like it's about done, but then they also got to now complete the road on the west side. So, I think that project moved along pretty quick. They had some problems on the construction on the east side, which slowed down because they route the traffic now 77 over those ramps, and it just took some time. But hey, that's what happens sometimes.
Sometimes you just got to be patient, don't you?
You just got to be patient. You bet.
What's coming up? Big projects next year. I know roads will continue to be.
I think roads will be. We'll be finishing up the sewer plant projects in the next few months. We did a rehab of both sewer plants. One of them's nearly done. The other one is a couple months out yet. We've done some enhancements and added the extra enhancements, so that'll be spread out. But everything that's been done to date is functional, and it helps the plants operate better and meet all the requirements we have to meet. The water plant project will probably move in. It's working on it right now, and it'll be in next fall. We've added 2 new water wells, which I think will help. I think we're proud that we're going to add generation. We never had electric generation backup at the power plant, at the water plant. We did it at both sewer plants, and so I think that's going to help us that we always have water and be a secure system here in this town.
Okay, you're going to welcome 3 new commissioners in January.
Yeah, we are. It's kind of exciting. Ain't the first time I've done it. I think they've all shown a lot of interest in the city, and I think come with a lot of background. Of course, Chief Brown. I'm going to call him Chief forever, but Tim with all his background in the city. Jeff had Underhill's getting on the commission. Again, a good background. He's been on the planning commission, and I think that helps move in there. Plus, the housing board very involved in the youth sports. Nick Albritton brings. I think the biggest thing we're bringing is I kid the guys leaving that we're going to take 3 mid-60s and replace with 1 mid-60, a mid-30, and a late 20s.
I like that, getting some younger ideas in.
Yeah, and I think a good city commission needs to be a microcosm of what the city is made of. The city's not made of all people our age, Dewey, believe it or not. And I think having the young ideas in there, I made the comment after the school bond election. I think probably the thing, of course, a lot of us are excited about the new school coming in and what it could do for the future. I think more importantly from the school thing was we had a group of 30 to 40-year-olds that owned the project, that they took some leadership roles, and the Way Forward Committee, and made it happen. And hopefully that's the next group of leaders that this community is going to need, and they're starting to develop.
Final question, what will that new school do for our community?
I think a new school shows excitement. And this is what this town always needs, is excitement. In the mid-2000s, early 2000s, you had the growth of the community. You had, 7, 8, 10,000 population, kind of stagnated a little bit with military and everything else. But I think it shows that, hey, we're going to keep rocking forward. We have a lot of negative comments in that this town's going to go south. It's not going to go south. I think the relationship with Fort Riley has been cultivated for 150, 160 years and will continue to be a great thing. I always say that Junction City does Army right, and we do it well, and I think we'll continue to, and I look forward to that future.
Enjoy the parade tonight.
Thank you, Dewey.
Alan Dinkle has been our guest. We'll have Sally Jardine come up with the Junction City Arts Council, and she'll be our next guest here on what we call the pre-parade show ahead of the main event, which is the 22nd Annual Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. And we'll talk to Sally Jardine with the Junction City Arts Council here. She is on her way up to the microphone. Today, of course, they have the Christmas market in the Heritage Park, and that has always been a pretty successful event. I stopped by for a few minutes. They had a steady stream of traffic, a lot of arts and crafts, food, and all kinds of things to offer over there. And we'll let Sally get all settled in, and then we'll bring her on. She is the president of the Junction City Arts Council. And Sally, thank you for coming up and talking. We appreciate it.
This is our 3rd Christmas market, and having it before the Christmas parade has really brought lots and lots of customers to our vendors. We have 35 vendors here with various products, presents, jewelry, baskets, food. And they've had a very good day. There's been traffic coming and going ever since we started at noon.
Help too.
Oh, yeah, it hardly felt like Christmas time. It was so warm today. But my goodness, we had to hold on to our tents.
The thing we should tell folks, it's not over. You're here till 7 o'clock.
We are here till 7 o'clock, yes, and the vendors will be here with all of their goods, too. After the parade, we usually get a big spurt of people coming over. And the Arts Council has traditionally sold Glühwein. We have a one-day liquor license, and we're selling this spicy hot wine, and it's just delightful on a night like this to have a little cup of that and walk around.
Is that the most popular thing selling at the Christmas market?
I think it really is. Once the parents are finished watching the parade, they all come over and generally get a cup.
What kind of arts and crafts did you have? What kind of arts and crafts did you have?
We have people who have culinary arts, lots of baked goods, and the German club, I think it is, from Abilene High School is here with their items. We have people who have paintings. We have people who are doing Christmas wreaths. We have different types of jewelry makers and a variety of things. It's a good time just to walk around and look at things, and maybe you can pick up a few presents for your sister, your aunt, your brother-in-law, and get going on that long list that you have for Christmas.
Now, you sit around at this most of the day, for the afternoon anyway. You always come up with ideas, things you could do differently, things you could do better. Tell me some things maybe that you'd like to see tried.
Well, today we noticed that we are just at the mercy of the weather. It was lovely weather, but the wind was so gusty from time to time that we had to run out and hang on to our tent poles until it cooled down. So we were talking about how we might do the same thing that they do in Europe. They have little wooden booths, and these wooden booths are like on a little trailer, and you just pull them in and you can sell from there, and you can pull them out. You don't have to worry about rain. You don't have to worry about too much wind. So we're kind of fussing over this among ourselves and how this might be a possibility that we could certainly make a booth out of a little wooden, like a tiny house, and we could pull it in here, but after that we have to go store it somewhere, and that's kind of a prospect we're working on.
So you would have a low trailer, build these booths and bring them in on a trailer, and that would prevent from cold weather and rain.
That would be the easiest thing for everybody, because we do have access. You can drive up and put your things in place. All the vendors are able to do that. But it's an expense, and it's a project. You'd have to find someone to build your booth for you. But it would be a very nice thing, and it's really what they do in Europe at their markets.
Recap today how it's gone.
Really, I think we've done a lot of business. Some of our vendors have sold out of their goods, and we are just as happy as can be with the crowd that has come, and we hope that they're enjoying themselves. I think they are.
You make a lot of funds. What do you do with that?
We use them for art classes, Dewey. We give free art classes every Saturday to any children, elementary school age, who show up. And so we have to buy supplies, we have to pay our teachers to do this, and that's mainly what we use our funds for.
Have a good time tonight at the parade.
Yes, thank you. It's been a great time.
Sally Jardine has been our guest here on the pre-parade show, and I'm going to have you ask Tony Wolf if he'd stop in. The Geary County Sheriff is here tonight. And we'll see if we can get him to sit down for a couple of minutes.
My turn.
We didn't have a radio broadcast. We didn't include Tony Wolf. So walking around, I always like to ask law enforcement crowd, what are you seeing out there?
I've seen a lot of folks. There's a lot of folks out here. The weather, you couldn't ask for a better night for this. There's a lot of people out here, and everybody seems to be having a really good time.
What's your favorite part of the parade?
Honestly, when it's over and I can go home.
You're on security detail.
Yes. Just wandering around and making sure everybody has a good time and plays by the rules.
We can see a big crowd here at Heritage Park here around 6th and Washington. How is it up the street?
Up the street there, earlier when I came through town about 4:30 this afternoon. There was already people starting to get out and get set up and to watch the parade. I came back through just a little while ago, and it's wall-to-wall people, very similar to almost like 4th of July. There's a lot of folks.
Just bigger than, or 4th of July parade bigger in terms of people?
4th of July parade would be bigger, but this is running a real close second, let me tell you.
What's your favorite part of a parade that when we were watching it?
Santa Claus. Yeah, that's always cool because all the little kids, their faces light up, and that's the best part of it for me.
What has to go into security preparing for one of these events?
Well, all of the cross along the way, they have to be taken care of, blocked, and while the parade goes by. Then you have like right here along the main route here along Heritage Park, all these people, as the parade progresses and the candy gets tossed out there and stuff, people try to start working their way out in the street. Well, you got to make sure everybody gets back, because that's the last thing we all need is somebody to get hurt while out there with one of the tractors or a truck or something like that going by. So,
and now they don't throw candy in the parade, right?
No, they go along and hand it out. However, you can sure see as the parade route goes on, there's candy that gets dropped along the way and stuff, and there's candy all over out there, and you got little kids that want to run out there and get it, and even some adults too. So we just got to kind of make sure everybody doesn't get wrapped up in all the fun and pays attention to the safety aspect.
Starting to hear a few sirens in the distance. That's your folks leading the way on the parade.
Yeah.
But tell me, has it been a good year? We'll just talk here for a couple minutes for the SO.
It has. We've had a lot of things go on this year, but we've come through a lot of different struggles. But it hasn't been anything that we couldn't handle. There's been some good times and there's been some bad times. But overall, it's been a really good year for the Sheriff's Department. It really has.
That's kind of standard for the SO. You do have to handle bad stuff.
I'm sorry?
You do have to handle bad things once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. We take the good with the bad.
It's not exactly been a flood of 93 years. So
No. Now, if you want to use that as a benchmark, we've had an excellent year.
Your forecast, budget, projects, what's coming up next year?
Yeah, we'll get started on the budget process here after the first of the year, and different projects we've got going on. Right now, we're holding the line and able to maintain. I mean, I'm doing a few updates within the jail. I've got a lot of locks and things that over the years that go bad, things like that are expected. Those are going bad. So we're replacing some locks here and there throughout the jail on the doors and stuff, and we're just trying to just maintain things and keep it ready and raring to go.
I've been curious lately about technology for the Sheriff's Department. I noticed some other law enforcement agencies are now using it, and we'll get another commissioner on here in just a second. But where are we headed with the Sheriff's Department?
Well, we were working with, in the future, we're going to have a whole new software set up within the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department. We've also implemented some mobile data terminals within certain vehicles and stuff. I have a lot more vehicles than the Police Department does, so they have mobile data terminals within all of their vehicles. I can't afford that. That's a lot of money that goes into those, so I've got a few cars that do have mobile data terminals in them. So that's a new thing for us. A lot of those computers that are in the cars, the guys can do just about everything they can at their desk in the office from out in the field. And that is a great time saver. It really is. Something that's going to be new to us in the future is probably going to be DigiTicket. We're going to go to a digital ticketing system to where, on the backside of your driver's license, you have that barcode stripe on there. We'll be able to slide the driver's license through a reader, and it will populate the citation. It'll print it out and everything. So we're moving towards that with this new software stuff. So we got a few things coming down the pike.
Tony, we're running out of time. Thank you.
All right, you bet.
I appreciate it. The parade is just now beginning to make its way down the street as we continue our broadcast ahead of tonight's 22nd annual Junction City Area Commerce Christmas Parade. And joining me now, Geary County Commissioner Keith Asher, and your first year as commissioner. How's it going for you?
Well, it's been busy.
You've had things going on.
Oh, we've had a lot going on this year, yep.
One thing I've been wondering, just how many meetings do you have to go to?
Oh, have to? Quite a few, but then there's ancillary meetings that, as being first year, I like to go,
And just learn?
Just kind of see what's going on.
Your thoughts on the Christmas parade? I've seen you at many of these.
Oh, I tell you what, it's wonderful. The spirit of the community, to see all the kids out here, that's what it's all about, is seeing the kids and families.
What do you like the best? I know the families, but is there an entry you always look for?
Not necessarily. anything that involves the children, I do. Of course, I've got a soft spot for 4-H, so I always like to look at the 4-H floats.
You're an old 4-H guy.
Yeah, but I always love watching the military.
Okay, well, appreciate you stopping by. We got a parade showing up.
Okay,
Want to let you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Keith Asher has joined us, Geary County Commissioner, and we'll get Jerry Breckeisen back on here on the Talk of JC as the law enforcement lights flashing. You can hear the sirens in the background, and we're getting the start of the parade just now reaching the downtown area on 6th Street, and I'm going to let Jerry get his flashlight going and get ready and get up to the mic. I know they've done the judging up in the parking lot at Junction City High School, and Jerry, I'll kind of let you run down the latest.
All right, the Mayor's Award winner, the $200 Mayor's Award, was Junction City Church of the Nazarene. The Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Award, $150, went to the Foot Locker float display. The $150 County Commission Award, Geary County Commission Award, you just talked to Geary County Commission Chairman Keith Asher, or Geary County, was Faith Tabernacle, and $150 Founders Award to Humboldt 4-H. And Keith mentioned the 4-H floats. And then the $150 Youth Award went to Next Step Dance. Mayor's Award sponsored by Central National Bank. Chamber Award sponsored by the Chamber, of course, and the Commission Award by the Geary County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Founders Award, Dell Motors. And the Youth Award, the Boys and Girls Club of Geary County. So there's your winners.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And the parade has now arrived downtown, leading the way on horseback and with a covered wagon, the Fort Riley Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard.
They are always impressive.
They are dressed in their Civil War uniforms and led by horses pulling the wagon, and they're just slowly moving down through the crowd here in downtown Junction City. Now, following that, a very large pickup that carries the trailer that they bring the horses in. There are two vehicles there, and then we'll get to a new fire truck that is making its way after that. But a lot of these horses are hauled in these trailers that are coming through right now in downtown Junction City. And that's kind of the traditional opening to the parade. And after that, then we get more vehicles from law enforcement. We got a little small vehicle with red and white flashing lights. Looks like a law enforcement gator. I didn't even know they had that. As it comes up the street, we've got some fire truck is in there. We've got another police car. This is trailers passing us by now that carry the horses for the Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard at Fort Riley.
That's a real fancy horse trailer, by the way.
That's the best I've ever seen, and they do go across the nation. So that's where we're at. So we're just early on in the parade now. We've got 41 entries. We've got a lot of stuff coming through.
I'm not sure what that is.
Well, it's a mascot, obviously, wearing a fire hat, waving.
Well, that's fire department related. I know that.
Yep. Junction City Fire Department is passing by. Nice to see them. Here are members of the 1st Infantry Division Band.
A little bit laid back tonight.
We got about, looks like 9 members coming through. Got a band, a couple of drums, some trumpets, and a big tuba. They're followed by the Junction City Fire Department. First, we get a big fire truck, then the ambulance, 2 of them coming through. Looks like maybe even 3. And they've got a whole procession going through. Now working their way up the street. Good to have you with us tonight here on the Talk of JC. I think we broadcast this radio station as broadcast every single one of these parades. I haven't done them all. The first one was Larry Lay and Dave Bossmeyer. Remember that? He was a former mayor and EDC director. Larry worked for us, of course, and they did the first one, and I've been here for a lot of them.
I'm not able to hear you, Dewey, because you're speaking so softly.
Put the headphones on. Then you'll hear me. Now, that help you a little bit? There you go. The parade coming down 6th Street. And now we should be able to, as we're watching the fire trucks.
Quite a display by the fire department.
And we'll keep moving. I'll try to squeeze over, Jerry, help you a little bit. We have another We got
That
4
is
fire
the-
trucks. One is a rural fire truck.
Yeah, we know these are fire trucks, but this is the brand new lift truck that they purchased some time ago. That is an important piece of equipment because it can get up really high in the case of an emergency at a taller complex.
Seeing Junction City Fire continuing to move through. They've entered several vehicles in tonight's parade. And now the mayor is making her way down the street, riding in the back of a convertible. Junction City Mayor Phyllis Fitzgerald sitting on the back. And waving at the crowd as she comes through. Don't know who's driving. It's a silver Mustang convertible. Mayor was pretty excited this week about the opportunity to be in the parade.
It's a nice looking Mustang. I believe that Mustang was provided by Dell Motors.
Following the mayor is the Geary County Health Department. And they'll be followed by the Junction City Church of the Nazarene. And Jerry, award winners you mentioned.
Yes, it is.
And we'll
They
get to
were.
that. Church of the Nazarene won the Mayor's Award, the $200 award here tonight, and that's the highest dollar payout award. And they've got a nice kind of a square box with a lot of white glowing Christmas lights atop the
You
float.
remember Radio Flyer, don't you, the wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Radio Flyer wagon. Santa's Workshop, the theme for the floats this year. So lots of toys and lots of presents to be, I guess, on Christmas morning.
A little bit of a gap and not much. We've got some more coming up the street here on 6th Street. As the trucks are slowly moving along, the Church of the Nazarene we'll recap some of the awards. The Chamber of Commerce Award went to Foot Locker. The $150 award, County Commission Award, went to Faith Tabernacle. The Founders Award to the Humboldt Creek 4-H Club. And the Youth Award went to Next Step Dance. Now, they're all $150, except that Mayor's Award for Church of the Nazarene. That is a $200 award, and that's kind of nice to have. They did the judging up in the parking lot at Junction City High School.
Well, you know, we just announced that a few minutes ago, so it was nice that you could repeat that and remind everybody who our winners was.
Now we're waiting on the next entry to come down the street. The Chamber of the Clarabelle's Dance Citadel is the next entry. They're located at 119 East 7th Street. They have been, I think, in every one of these parades I've seen.
Everyone that I've been to and attended, yeah.
They were the original dance studio in Junction City, and they're in the Sundown Salute Parade, and they're in this one as well. They do very well. Santa's Workshop is their float, pulled by a Trailblazer-type vehicle. They've got a big front. It looks like Santa's house. And they got a lot of kids, as you would expect, riding on the back of the float. And they've got some dancing out on the street. They're lining up in formation. The youngest up in front, very young, probably 5 years old. And they go up in age to about junior high, middle school. So
Inside Santa's Workshop was the theme of the overall parade. So we're looking at floats that are featuring stuff that would happen in Santa's Workshop, of course. Everybody that builds a float is asked to try to follow the theme if they can, and they do a pretty good job. They got a lot of dancers, I tell you what.
they're very popular. A lot of little girls love to go to Clarabelle's dance studio, and that is a fact. And we'll see Next Step Dance Studio coming up here in just a bit. They're later on the schedule here in the parade.
Our broadcast tonight being brought to you by Jack and Dick's Pawn Shop, Central National Bank, Corey Ellen Shores, Frontier Wine and Spirits, H&R Block, Sapp Brothers, Cracker Barrel, Konza Prairie Community Health Center, Earth Sports, and Uncle Ziggy's Pawn Shop, our sponsors for the parade tonight.
Of course, Mark Ediger helped found this parade 22 years ago, and he's standing back behind us. He'll be involved when Santa Claus gets here as they flip the switch on the lights and they welcome the Christmas holiday season into Junction City. We've got some lighted cars coming by now with Christmas lights ringing the sides of the roof and down the front of the hood, and both. We've got a pickup. And then we've got the Army mascot. I have seen him in the parade before. Kind of a big blow-up.
No, that's Sergeant Bank from
Is that what that
Exchange.
is?
That's
I couldn't remember.
That's Sergeant Bank from Exchange Bank here in Junction City.
Okay. Well, he looks
and
like a
Sergeant-
soldier, yeah.
Sergeant Bank and I got to know each other last year during the Teacher of the Month tours that we did once a month. He's not with us this year, but he's here in the parade.
Coming down the street. He's kind of cool. The kids like him. And notice he walks over to the side.
He was popular in the classrooms, too. Sergeant Bank was from Exchange Bank here in Junction City. This one ain't a hard one to figure out.
The Junction City High School marching band, led by the flag team in front of them.
I guess this will be the pride of Blue Jay Land.
That's right. The pride of Blue Jay Land. Coming by, all dressed up in their marching band uniforms tonight.
Is this their on or off year for a trip?
This is their off year.
Off year?
Don't go anywhere this year.
Annually, every other year, they take a nice trip somewhere. They went to Washington last year, didn't they?
They went to the National Memorial Washington, D.C. parade last year, and now this is their off year. They'll raise funds and go again next year. They did change band directors, though. T.J. Taylor retired. Still lives here in the Junction City community. In fact, he's quite active in the Breakfast Optimist Club.
I bet the band director's out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. He's out there marching somewhere. Still the assistant band directors, but that's the Junction City High School marching band. The cheerleaders were in this event. Coming up, Senior Life Bus. And that's kind of neat for those folks to be able to get out and participate in the parade.
It is. It's real important for them. And, they get a kick out of this.
Oh, yeah.
A big kick.
Got a chance to kind of get out and see the community, and that's a neat thing.
Yeah, you see some young folks in there with them helping them out. That's good. Valley View always brings their bus to the parade.
So Valley View has gone by, and we're kind of moving through the ranks here pretty fast on the parade. We've completed our first full page of entries, and we can say the Clarks Creek 4-H Club is next. I really like this. A big flatbed truck with blue whites, flashing lights on top, and some white trim and red trim. They're
4-H clubs always do a great job with their float decorations, and they oftentimes stick right to the theme. They think the theme's important.
That was the Clarks Creek 4-H Club. Now we get the Faith Tabernacle Youth Department coming up next.
Faith Tabernacle was a winner, I believe, on your list of winners there.
Faith Tabernacle won the $150 Geary County Commission Award. They have a lot of
Geary
kids.
County Commissioners utilize the Convention and Visitors Bureau to sponsor that award, so I can see why they were judged one of the best. It is a very nice float, and they are truly inside Santa's workshop.
They've got a nativity scene as well,
Yeah.
and then stacked with presents on the back of the flat top. They're pulling like a lowboy type trailer. A farmer would know that's what they call hay around on and equipment. But that's what is progressing now. And, the crowd is very attentive, Jerry. They're just kind of sitting back and enjoying this.
Yeah, the float, the Church of the Nazarene float says Jesus is the original Christmas gift. I like that.
That is true. That'll bring up next the Junction City Philippine American Association.
I believe they're always entered, too. They participate most every year, too. They get into it.
They're coming down the street right in front of us. We're in Heritage Park, about halfway up the block from 6th and Washington. As they make their way, they're the Junction City chapter of the Philippine American Association. Big banner out in front, and they've got some walkers decked out in Christmas red with Santa Claus hats as they make their way down the street for the 22nd Annual Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. Got some vehicles next in line flying the American flag on the first one, and it looks like having to pick up who that is coming through.
I'm truck.
Somebody dressed in Santa Claus and enjoying themselves, waving at the crowd, having a good time.
And they threw some presents in the bed of the pickup truck. That's a good thing.
Another nice pickup is coming through, a Ford, kind of a dark wine red color, pulling a trailer with a Santa house decoration. They got presents and kids on the back. This is a 4-H entry here, or no, this could be the Next Step Dance Studio. 3 pickups in a row coming through, another dark blue.
I'm not sure if that's the Blue Line entry or not. Blue Line 4-H Club.
kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, they don't identify themselves on their float, so it's hard for us to know who they are. But when we do know, we'll let you know who they are.
The Next Step Dance Studio is next in line. They're marching up the street with a banner. They've got a truck pulling a trailer with white lights ringing the sides and front of the trailer as they bring it down the street. And guess what, Jerry? A lot more kids in line. Here they come, working down the street, waving at the crowd. Some are dressed in red and green. We got a lot of kids on the float.
Do we know who this one?
Yes, that is the Next Step Dance Studio.
Oh, yes, okay.
And they've got dancers now going into their routine out on 6th Street. And the mayor's stopping by, passing out lollipops for Jerry and me. We may not be able to enjoy them right at this current moment, but we'll get around to it. She does that, Jerry.
I appreciate you making that adjustment for me there. Thank you. That really helped a lot.
This tie line that we broadcast on, folks listening, it's a little tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that, though.
I've learned the hard way.
Well, I can... now, I like that. That's a stand-up scooter right there, and I tell you what, he's delivering candy in style right there.
Got all kinds of flashing lights wearing over his neck. Have you ever watched The Mall Cop with Paul Blunt? Well, he's riding one of those scooters like he run around on.
That was cool. I don't know if you've seen a stand-up scooter or not before, but
let's take
I'm
note.
trying to think of the name of the thing. I used to know that. They were real popular. Remember when they first came out?
Kind of a moped type vehicle.
Yeah. That was really good.
Now we get the VFW Post 8773, their color guard coming down the street, flying the American flag and the flag of the state of Kansas.
Well, what other flag would they fly?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they got a VFW flag.
That's true. That's true.
They're coming down the street and marching in total precision. And then we're going to get the Humboldt 4-H Club. They're next in line. A lot of kids waving. Kids love these parades. Were you ever in a parade as a kid?
I believe I was in a couple, yeah.
I think I was in one. Rode on a float. It was fun.
I know I've said this several times tonight, but the 4-H clubs really get into this, and they build beautiful floats. You can tell they spent a lot of time on that. All about inside Santa's workshop.
Here are the Shriners on the mini wheels.
You got to have these guys for a parade.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were going to be here this year. That's new. That's good. There's 3 of them out there in their green and yellow jackets with their red Shriners hats on, flying the American flag on the back of their mini cycles as they weave in and out of traffic here on 6th Street.
I can tell you their name. It's the Junction City Fort Riley Mini Wheels Classic Cars Shriners vehicles.
Okay. And the Hampton Inn is passing us by now with their vehicles decorated. And here comes the Junction City Daily Union vehicle, the big red bow on the hood, working its way down the street. The mini wheels will entertain you. They'll weave back and forth, move up and down the street, and they'll go in between many of the other entries. Now we get the Flint Hills Harley Owners Group. These are the motorcycle guys. Some of these are some big dollar motorcycles, too. Looks like we just got a couple of them behind their main entry as they work their way down the street.
These are the really, really nice Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Yeah, these are $30,000, $40,000 bikes.
And they don't do the loud thing. They're muffled well, and
that's the way to do it, too.
Yeah, it's class. They got a class way of coming down the street, and they're nice. They really are.
Up next, the Geary County Senior Center. Their van is making its way down the street. Some of our older residents having a chance to attend the parade and actually participate in the parade. And that's a pretty neat thing as they get a chance in their big white van that they travel in. They take those folks a lot of places, doctor's appointments, occasionally shopping, things like that. Help them do all kinds of things at the Senior Center, and they've had a chance here tonight now to be in the parade. We do have a little bit of a gap in the parade coming up, so we'll have a couple of moments here to kind of assess, but so far I really like the entries that I've seen. Got some more coming. We're about a block and a half out. You can see the lights flashing down the street. kind of waiting on the Salvation Army, Foot Locker, the Girl Scout Service Unit 706, the Boy Scout Troop 41, the St. Xavier Catholic School will be in the parade coming.
Let's have Mark sit down and join the broadcast here.
Okay, we'll let Mark sit down. Mark Ediger, who helped start this parade 22 years ago, and he is an integral part of it now, and I'll let him get some headphones on here. And can you hear me now? Okay.
Hi there, Dewey. You bet.
Okay.
You bet. We got a little gap here, don't we?
It happens. But we've had pretty good interest so far. I'm impressed.
I was impressed as well, watching this all come together. That's one of the fun parts of putting the parade together is the 3 hours or so that we spend in the parking lot, and we see all this stuff come together. It's a lot of fun.
Take me through the organization. How do you do that?
Oh, we start probably in late August, early part of September, and we get a meeting together and we come up with a theme and get that put together. And then I'll send out letters to the past 2 or 3 years participants in the parade and tell them about the parade. Sometime around the first part of October, we start our promotion of it on the radio sometime around the middle of October. And just then, we've got it on JC Post, we got it with the chamber, and wait for the entries to come in. And so, yeah, it's a lot of letter, kind of working ahead. It's kind of hard to think about Christmas in late August or early September.
Yeah, but you got to do it now. Who's traffic cop at the high school parking lot when you're lining everybody up?
Traffic cop?
Yeah, you got to get somebody in line.
Well, I guess that would be me. I don't know.
You're the guy?
Yeah. I just wander around, just answer any questions anybody has, and at that point, everybody's coming in and putting their stuff together, and a lot of people involved, and that's the thing. And trying to get all the kids involved. There's a lot of kids involved in these floats, and try to get them all into the parking lot is because they all come in individual vehicles, so that's kind of hard to coordinate.
Seems to me the hardest thing is they all arrive about the same time.
Well, yeah, and it's. We always wait. Some of them, I get there about 3 o'clock, and there were already a couple already setting up. But most everybody shows up between 4 and 5 o'clock, and probably more between 4:30 and 5 than anything.
Okay, the parade is catching up here a little bit. The Salvation Army is coming by.
All right.
Danielle Tatea is leading the way. We had her on JC Now this morning.
Had her on JC Now this morning. Yeah, we're about probably halfway done with the parade is what I figured. So
Salvation Army Disaster Services, and folks, they do a lot for people if you're down on your luck. They're going to show up. Organizations like the Red Cross are there to help you.
And they put together the Angel Tree where they put together gifts for kids who are needy, don't have their parents to buy Christmas gifts for them. They're doing that right now, and I know that our radio station 1420 KJCK is helping with that. And so Jerry's going to be talking about that over the next 10 days or so. But that's a neat thing that they do.
All right. Are you enjoying the parade?
I absolutely am. It never ceases to amaze me. I was just telling Sheriff Wolf back here that we watched these entries come together. And here's another award winner here. This is the Chamber Award.
Foot Locker.
And it goes from Foot Locker. And look at the vehicles they have. They have a golf cart and a bunch of bicycles with antlers on them, which I thought was pretty cool.
I like this. The officials, like the referee shirts they're wearing. That's kind of neat. And they have lighting on all their bicycles.
That's kind of the uniform of the Foot Locker, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
You watch. There's a lot of effort goes into these floats, and that's what is very, very satisfying to see all the work that these people put together for these floats every year. It's fantastic. And then see this huge crowd out here is just it's very fulfilling.
It's very good up 6th Street. Now, you're going to help greet Santa Claus a little bit later, right?
We are. I talked to Santa when he arrived at the parking lot. He's ready to get here and excited about turning on the lights. The mayor is here going to help as well. She's wandering out, giving out candy.
She gives us lollipops like, well, okay, we'll have it in a little bit.
Yeah. And so the mayor will say a few words, and then the Santa Claus will say a few words, and then we'll turn the lights on. And we've got some new arches that we've lit this year that you'll be able to see. We're adding to the lights here in Heritage Park every single year, and that will be a process that will continue.
You think Christmas parade year round? Are you thinking bigger, even bigger in the future?
We'll take whatever we can get. It seems to be somewhere around 40, 50, something in that area. Entry is what we get pretty much every year. Sometimes we've gotten up close to the 6th year, but yeah, we'll take as many as we can get. But it's just a great way to start the Christmas season.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, thanks, Dewey.
He's going to be a busy guy here in just a little bit with Santa Claus. We'll let Jerry get back in here. The Girl Scout Award now coming by. Pick up, pull. And welcome back to downtown Junction City. We apologize for the brief interruption. We accidentally got unplugged, and Jerry Breckeisen is back. We've had the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts have gone by us here on 6th Street, getting some more motorcycle entries in our parade here this evening. We've had the All-Star Diamonds, the Elks inside Santa's workshop, Mrs. Claus. You can hear the background. Now passing the Fayum Temple, number 209, riding in some really nice convertibles. And then we'll go to the All-Star Diamonds. We're getting back on track here. Had a little gap there in the parade, and again, we apologize for being off the air for a minute or so. We're back, and Jerry, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much, and they know we're sorry.
Yeah, we have to. A lot of cords running down here, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah, there's no light, so we're relying on flashlights to light the work area. So it's all part of the deal. Here comes. There is a float coming up now, not too far away, that we need to identify here at the early stages, if we can. Do you have
we'll do that? I think it may be the All-Star Diamonds with Lissa's Claws, and I believe that's where we're now at in the parade. They have actually stayed in pretty good order. We've had some gaps, but the parade entries are pretty much as scheduled. These motorcycles just went through. I don't think we had them.
No, I don't think we did either. There has been some delay, though, in the parade, and that's to be expected. You have some that go a little quicker and others that go a little slower, and it's an issue parade directors have been dealing with for a long time.
Now, I actually watched an hour of the Macy's parade yesterday, believe it or not. Really good. They didn't have any gaps. Those guys, that's a big-time operation there.
Yeah,
we don't have Charlie Brown balloon either, so, take it into account.
I was about that. We ought to go for that if we can. See if we can get a hot air balloon to come to our parade.
Yeah, we got to get a Charlie Brown balloon. That might be something for Mark to work on.
Yeah, we've got pretty good clearance. We can make that happen.
They had some of they had some of the new ones, but they were saying every year for 20-some years they've had Charlie Brown floating over the parade.
Yeah, that's got to happen. That's got to happen. The Snoop's got to be there.
Santa's Workshop is coming, and this is the All-Star Diamonds entry, and they've got where Santa puts together all those toys and Christmas gifts being pulled behind a nice-looking
since he's standing, I'm going to ask him.
Pickup.
What is an All-Star Diamond?
I don't know.
What are the All-Star Diamonds? Do you recall?
Got some little elves in there.
No. I did, and I didn't get a. Is this them right here?
Yes.
Well, they've got Santa's Workshop.
Well, they've got the theme down.
Yeah.
All-Star Diamonds. I'm trying to think.
You have stumped me. I should look into that.
Well, I put you on the spot,
I
so.
thought maybe they were dancers, but maybe not.
Okay.
Now we get Town and Country, Mowing and Landscaping coming by, and looks like a commissioner's in
no,
there.
that's Town and Country right there.
Yep, right there.
Okay.
And here comes Nick Albritton, just elected to the Junction City Commission, riding in the back of a pickup, waving at the crowd.
A brand new commissioner.
And then we get Junction City Elks Lodge 1037. They're a traditional entry in our Christmas parade here in the Junction City community. After them will come H&R Block. We see them every year as well.
Maybe the All-Star Diamonds are sponsored by Town and Country Mowing.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I got All-Star Diamonds with Elves inside Santa's Workshop, and that's what went by.
That's what we got. Yeah, we're going with what we got.
So now we got the Elks Lodge and H&R Block going by. Then we get the Lions Creek 4-H Club. A lot more kids. They're dressed in the Christmas green, wearing sweatshirts and little elf hats.
Another beautiful float from the 4-Hers. My goodness.
I can see Santa Claus, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Looks like the street sweeper's coming up the street. That's a sure sign Santa's nearby.
He is.
We got some older type vehicles. I don't know how far back, at least 1930s looks to me like, but
Well, that's a Model T truck, I believe, dude.
yeah. I don't know my cars that well, but they're sailing up the street. We got one vehicle going in circles.
Okay, you're going to have to take it for just a minute. I've got to make
Okay.
a quick technical thing here. And
All right.
let me be excused. I'm multitasking tonight.
We got looks like a guy swirling around, going in circles
In a tank.
Yeah, a little mini tank out there. That is cool. I had not seen that. He's got a big gun sticking out in front. Some horses coming up, and we are nearing the end of the parade. We have seen the First United Methodist Church, the Lions Creek 4-H Club. We have seen Pizza Hut. IHOP has come by. And then the horses from Amanda Martinez has been by. So that's all happened as we get near the end of the parade. And now, big carriage pulling Santa Claus. The man in red and white with the big beard is arriving at the Heritage Park downtown. And I'll pass a note on to Joshua Ferguson back in our studios. I hope you're able to record this portion of our parade broadcast. We'll play some of that back tomorrow morning in the news. Santa Claus has arrived. They have stopped the carriage here at Heritage Park. And what they'll do now is they'll go on down to the end of the street, around the corner so everyone can see Santa Claus. Then they'll turn around and they'll come back to Heritage Park. The street sweeper, as always, right behind Santa Claus, followed by a Junction City police car with the lights flashing. And I think it's been a good parade, Jerry. We had a few gaps, but all in all, still a pretty good, nice parade.
All right, we're going to figure out a way to get a mic over to Mark because we're some distance here. So
I'll talk, and
if
you grab your mic and take it over. I think that side's a little closer.
I'm thinking I'm going to need that cord right there, and let's make this happen. So
Technical on the fly. This is live radio. Jerry is working on that, and we'll get that microphone over to Mark Ediger, who is on the front corner, the northwest corner of the main stage here at the Heritage Park downtown, and he'll be broadcasting over the public address system as we get set to welcome Santa Claus to the Heritage Park area. And we got a large crowd gathering around the stage, and Mayor Phyllis Fitzgerald is standing up there with him. We'll get Santa Claus in just a few minutes as they try to get ready to welcome the big guy here to the park. Now there'll be a countdown. He'll flip the switch, and then once the lights come on, he'll make a few comments, and then he'll head over to the Santa House, which is also here in the park, and he'll be meeting with children here in the Heritage Park. So that's all to come, and the kids love it. They get in a big long line and get ready to meet Santa Claus here in the park. And there is some extra entertainment going on, watching Jerry trying to get this mic undone. That's a tough job. He's got it. And so we'll get a microphone over there to Mark Ediger and pick that up as well as part of our broadcast here this evening. Like we said earlier, a lot of technical moving parts in this, but we're honored to bring you the Christmas parade here on the Talk of JC.
Opportunity to help with that at some point, but we're doing this a little bit
Mark
at a time,
Ediger
and
is
that is our
talking
goal,
with
and
the
you'll be
crowd
able
in
to
the
see some
distance.
of that here this
Santa Claus
evening.
went down
Make
to
sure
6th
that you
and Washington
stop by
and around the corner.
and visit the
and is
Christmas
now heading
market
up the
that's
street.
going on for a few more minutes here this evening.
And he'll turn
The
around
Christmas
in his
market has been
carriage
going
and
on all
bring him
afternoon,
back to
and
the park.
what a beautiful
A lot
day
of
this has
kids
been
pressed
for
up close to the
the
stage here
Christmas
tonight,
market and for the Christmas
waiting to
parade as well. So
see this all
stick
unfold.
around. As soon as Santa gets
this
his
evening.
way back over here, we're going to allow
we'll
him to
get
get
him
up
up
over
here
here
in
on
just a
stage,
few
and
moments, and
he'll join
you'll
us
hear the
here
big
on
cheer
stage
when he
and
gets
get
here, I
these
can
lights turned
guarantee
on
you.
and get on with
That'll
it, right,
happen
Mayor?
as he comes up
All
on
right.
stage here at Heritage Park. 22nd year since we've had
I hope
this
Santa
Christmas
has
parade. It was Mark
an
Ediger's
escort getting
idea,
back
driving
here.
back from Southwest Kansas, visiting in-laws.
I don't think he has to walk.
And
No,
another
he
community.
has a ride.
And then it's his idea that maybe we
All
should
right.
try one here in
Stick
Junction
around.
City.
Santa
And
will be
that
right
is
here.
what happened. And it took off the first year and has been big every single year that we've had it. So we're now waiting on Santa Claus here in the park. He's saying hello to a few of the folks down the street. They'll bring him back in a horse-drawn carriage. And we'll light the lights and turn things on here in the park in just a few minutes. You know, they light all these various lights that have been designated. There's been fundraising in place now for about 5 years. And they'll have that ready to go. And Jerry, you're good to go. Jerry is a very good engineer mechanic here, and he is getting the cords ready so we can record and bring you the sounds of Santa Claus when he arrives at Heritage Park. Beautiful parade tonight. I'm going to recap the award winners while we have a couple of moments here to fill this evening. The mayor's
All right. I believe Santa's on his way.
We're listening to Mark Ediger.
And a police escort. How about that? All right. How about a big round of applause for Santa Claus? All right, if we can clear the way here and allow Santa to join us on stage.
Join us on stage.
Santa Claus is slowly climbing out of the carriage.
Look at them beautiful horses!
What a beautiful horse this is. Now he's coming out of the street up into Heritage Park, shaking a lot of hands. Leading young children to car for
3C Carriage giving the Santa escort here this evening from 3C Carriage.
3C Carriage.
I know some of these people. You don't want to go through Twyla. Well, hello.
Santa Claus is making his way, taking photos along.
All right.
Everybody's got a telephone.
All right.
Hello! Try it again. Hello! Ho, 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 ho.
All right.
All right.
We are about ready to turn these lights on, but I would like to say it's impossible to do a parade like this and lighting like this without help of a lot of people, including the Chamber of Commerce for putting on the parade, and the City of Junction City. We couldn't do it without them. So we'd like to introduce the mayor. Say a few words. Mayor Phyllis Fitzgerald.
Mayor.
Well, good evening, everybody. I had a fantastic ride coming down 6th Street, and I hope that you got to hear me say, hello, hey, y'all, glad to see you. I'm so glad everybody's here tonight. And it's totally awesome to see so many children out here tonight to see Santa Claus. With that, I'm not going to hold you up. I'm very, very grateful to see so so many people come out to visit with Santa tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is possibly the shortest speech that you've ever given, Mayor.
No,
I got it back. I got it back now. I don't know if you've ever been upstage before, but I believe you have been by this guy that's right beside you right over there. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, and it's not too late to get on Santa's good side, so you've got some time to do that. Introduce to you the man of the hour, Mr. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Hello, Junction City. Come on, we can do better than that. Hello, Junction City. Have a healthy, happy season. And thank you for coming out, and especially the Eagle Communications, and the City of Junction City, and my wife. Thank you very much.
Santa, do you see many good boys and girls out here?
Good boys and girls out here?
I don't see a single bag. You're all in the good ones. Give yourselves a hand. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Give yourselves a hand. There you go.
If you will, we would like to turn the lights on here, because I know you're a busy man.
I know you're a
You've got
busy
many
man.
places to be.
You've got many places to be.
So what we're going to do is we're going to count this down.
We're going to count this down.
And flip the switch. With you and the mayor.
With you and the mayor.
And turn on these lights in here at the park. Are you ready? We'll count this down. Here we go. 10.
Here we go. 9,
9. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Merry Christmas! All right,
Merry Christmas!
We are going to
get
Santa down off of the stage and into the Santa's house,
and into the Santa's
and be able
house,
to meet as many of the little boys and girls as we possibly can here this evening. So, is my Santa escort here?
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 She's somewhere close.
She's somewhere close.
All right. Well, we'll get that. Mayor, would you mind escorting Santa to Santa's house?
Santa to Santa's house.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. Thank you for coming to the parade, and have a great Christmas season. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you very much. Marquette Claus has arrived, turned the switch on, and the lights are lit in the Heritage Park area of downtown. A very impressive little ceremony. A lot of people gathered around the stage here to watch all the activities this evening, and the kids have a big thrill. Many of them now preparing to get in line to meet Santa Claus at the Santa House. Jerry, got your mic turned up, and you're back on the air.
Well, one way or another, we got the job done, didn't we?
Quite the engineer. I got to hand it to you.
Well, yeah, there was some maneuvering on the fly here tonight, so we got that taken care of. But anyway, it was a great broadcast. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing the broadcast with you, Dewey, and also it's always the very end when Santa gets here.